Hi friends, this is NMK Vijay and welcome to my YouTube channel Forex Efforts for analyzing the major currency pairs as well as gold, copper, silver commodities like US30 Bitcoin. So before we get into this analysis, this is my disclaimer. Read carefully. So let's move on to our watch list. Starts from DXY and end with gold. So now DXY. So I'm expecting this is the one this is our positional wave count, the daily. So this is a 1 2 and 1 second, yeah, euro USD, right? The same thing, 1 2 3 4 5 1 here 2. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. So here it's a little bit confusions whether the 5-way structures is got completed here, what I expected here in this zone, and it reached nearly the same zone. 40 pips is ahead. Behind this, what is my target? So whether this is the completion of the 5 ways of the third wave and beyond the fourth wave, what I'm expecting here. So still I'm expecting at least 30 here 30% retracement of 38.2 retracement for this third wave, right? Yeah, there's a one, there's a two. So this third wave I'm looking for 23.6 and the next one is 38.4, 38.2. So whether it is going to happen nearly the bounce what I'm expecting here. So this bounce like that in DXY also I'm expecting the fourth wave here, like this one in the daily chart. It's okay. Yeah, say 23.6 and I'm not expecting this one. So my uh, expectation is dollar has to suffer, and I already informed in one of my groups in NFP dollar may suffer. So whether it is going to happening or not, but if it comes like this, and one thing I need to give an input here, every September to December the market is dollar is suffering. This is what my analysis. So look at this here in this position. So November, here it's December. There's a lot of here also the same thing. August starts from August and then November. So it's came down. The same thing here also from the July. It is in the September, and after that it got bounce. And here also same from November and the May. And here also from October to March. So within this period we are getting some rejections. That is what I'm expecting here. So whether it is going to happen up to October, November, December like that. So somewhat I'm expecting a little bit bigger corrections here. So once that corrections got completed in the three-way structures, I'm expecting the final wave of here, the fifth wave. The same thing in the Euro USD also. After this fourth wave, I'm expecting the one more way to the downside. Same thing in GBP USD also. Look at this. This is also the five-way structures got completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm expecting another three-way structure in all the dollar pairs. So somewhat GBP, Euro USD, UCAD. So these are all Euro USD, GBP USD. I'm expecting that bounce. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar bounce, and UCAD, UJ, UCHF, everything it is in the downside for the shorter term period. So if we kept this as a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, right? So if we measure this in the second wave, this is the third wave, say same 23.6 I'm expecting here in this zone. So everything the previous fourth wave. If you are an electrician, you know that where the fourth wave ends, the bigger fourth wave can end the intermediate wave 4. It will end here itself. Same thing, it correlates here also. The previous intermediate wave 4 and the bigger fourth also. And we are having a look in the Australian dollar. Look at this. So here also it looks like three-way structure A, B, C. So whether we don't know whether this is the B is got completed or second wave is got completed. And here also it seems like the three-way structure. So whether it is going to break the previous low and later onwards it can bounce like this, the five-way structures, or it could be a three-way structures to break this one as an expanded flat, or without breaking this it can getting rejected from this also running flat, or from here also it can make a three-way structures also. So somewhat I am expecting the bounce like the same thing in New Zealand dollar also. I am expecting from here and the previous, right, later onwards it is also it's looking like the three-way structure here. So even though it broken the previous low, I'm expecting these are the three-way structures. So once again I need a three-way structures for WXY, or it could be ABC as a expanded flat. So somewhat I'm expecting nearly 300 to 400 pips as a bounce. What here we expected, the same thing happened. Like that here I'm expecting. So next is I did the Australian dollar also, New Zealand dollar sets, and the next one is USD Cad. And USD Cad also every time it's hitting the new previous high, it's reaching the previous high, it's declining almost, it's looking like a double top here in this is the weekly chart. Like that, look at here also, every time in the if it breaks or little bit near to that, we are getting the rejection, strong rejections. Look at this here also, it made a new high and after that getting the rejections, after the new high rejections. So whether it is going to break the high or it is going to without breaking the high, I'm expecting this one. So how we expected in every the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, like that, the 300 to 400% euro, GBP, USD, everything. So like that, you can also I expecting this pattern, but expecting this, I'm not in sell side in the dollar pairs. You have to note this. I am in the charting positions of Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, everything I closed. Now I am expecting the bounce. Once the bounce was completed in that opposite trend side, and then I will be continuing that trend side for Australian dollar short, New Zealand dollar short, everything. And UCAD I'm expecting to buy. So I already previously I closed my positions here and I expecting this one. So till that this is a still valid. So whether we don't know whether it no need to break this one, because we kept this as an irregular flat pattern here also. So even though it bounced high maximum, so there is a chances for making this one. At least I am expecting this one. So from here the 300 to 400 pips I am expecting. So whether it is going to be a 500 pips, fine. But somewhat I am expecting the corrections here. I am not so sure about this one, this pattern, because we kept this as a A. Later onwards, this is the B means. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is no five-way structures here. That is why we kept this as an A. So the thing here is A, B. So C is a five-way structure. So we kept this as a five-way structures. After that, this is three-way structures. So once the wave 2 is completed here means we need a impulsive wave, but it's not looking like an impulsive, it's looking like a three-way structures. So I'm not so sure about this one here. But anyway, it has to break this high, then later I will upload my video if I found a time, because last week I didn't done, so I already informed that I can't make a video regularly like past, and after the 1 or 2 months I can continue my video maybe. So USD so what I expected here, the three-way structures, but what had happened, it's already broken the previous high. It's a 52 weeks high, but even though this is still valid because of the fourth wave, so it could be a running triangle like this, or it could be a running flat, or it could be something expanded flat also. From here it can bounce. So anyway, I'm looking the corrections here. So look at this in that, I'll just clear this. What I thought, this is the one, A, B, C, A, B, C. After that, I'm expecting this A, this is a B, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm expecting this one from here. But what it did? So even though if it did, this is the pattern is still valid. So in how? So A, B, C is a W. So this is the one X. So this whole thing becomes A. This is the one B, and later on it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is a W, X, A, B, C is a Y. So anyway, the three-way structure has got completed. And it is still, if we are looking for this as an expanded flat or running flat, we are below that 141.78 is a 1272 is valid for that. So I'm expecting every dollar pairs has to suffer in this week or for that another 2 months, 2 to 3 months. It could be a rejection in the correction period for me. It's look like. So USDHF, and I didn't done any pair here. I didn't done any trade here. I'm looking for somewhat the bigger correction. So USDHF, the same as per, this is the one A, this is the one B, after this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the one ABC, the three-way structure has got completed, and again this is the one ABC. So far this is, it's looking like ABC. So we have to wait for the five-way structure, or it can be a bigger three-way structure. So then later on this could become the connecting wave. After that, one more low to the 9 to 1 I'm expecting. So if you need a bigger picture for this USD chef, you just go through the positional analysis for the 2022 what I had shared in the January or December last week, I think so. So go through that, and I have already explained very well in the past video also before the 50 days what I shared. So the next pair we can see is the USDF, the Euro New Zealand, the cross currencies. So 1 second, yeah. So here I'm no, it didn't break the previous low yet. So only if the previous low, if it breaks, then only it is reaching to that 1.5 what I'm expecting. So before that it can do like this also. So this is a little bit confusing pair, and I already explained that if it comes here we need to short. Otherwise, if it comes here also, making this as a stop loss, we can try another sell. But after, if it breaks this high also, we need to look for the completion of that trend. Then we have to take a sell for the target of nearly that 1.5. So if, see, I'm a little bit hurry and making this video, so if I'm not explaining the previous video analysis what we are looking for. So if you are a new watcher, just go through my previous week analysis, then only you can understand why I'm looking for that target of 1.5. So the next pair is US30, and I think we can finish within this 30 minutes. So US30 from S&P 500 also, we are watching that. So I see, I already explained this is the 1, 2 or ABC, and this is the one that bearish trend line exactly it happened. So what we are last week analyzed means either this is a three-way structures, it is making the five-way structure means no worries, is a 1 2 3 4 5 after the three-way structure, and again we are looking for the bigger picture to break this high. But and one more analysis, the possible what we did is 1 2 3 to break this low also, but we don't know whether it is breaking like this. And after that, here I explained this. So whether it now it is confirmed this is the one three-way structure is got completed. So here it's looking like the five-way structure. Here it's looking like a five-way structure, or sometimes it's look like a ABC. Say five-way structure. Why I'm explaining this as a five-way structure? This wedge is the confusion. We don't know whether this is a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 somewhat. Here it's a B C, the C is a wedge formation, or this is a 1 is 1 2 3 4 5 like that. It's a little bit confusing here. So either this is a three-way structure or the five-way structure, no worries in this, but we are looking only for that bigger picture. From here I'm expecting a bounce. So because if this is a three-way structure, we need a five-way structure again, because of this ABC is a ABC is a B, and we are looking for the flat correction for the five ways. Or if it is a W, this is the one X ABC. So anyway, I'm looking for the bounce. In case alternatively, this if this is the connecting wave for this downtrend, so anyway is the ABC or 1 2 3, we are expecting at least 50%. I'm expecting. So it bounce can happen later onwards. It can come to that like this one. So somewhat here I'm expecting this bounce. So we have to wait for this to complete the three-way structure, because it looks like here is a sharp fall. Here is a sharp bounce. So I'm not so clear here, because it could be the profit taking here for the Friday. So we have to wait for the, because this is the one on the NFP, I think so here. So I'm not in that screen at that time. So I just watched only that a little bit patch what I'm having. I didn't analyze this on that NFP. So anyway, I booked the profits in Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, everything, Euro, USD, everything I did, and I'm just having one small questions in the trend side. So now I'm expecting the bounce means whether the S&P 500 and the gold silver I'm expecting to the highest side. I didn't think so, because sometimes it go if it go higher, and stocks can move to the downside also, and sometimes it will move along with that. So anyway, dollar is going to retracement for that rejections, or it could be a corrections. At that time gold can be a little bit push, and every time what I analyzed, right, from the July or August, from that there will be a up to December we are getting the dollar pair has to suffer. At that time the gold is going the higher side. After that, and the gold is coming to the downside. So like that, if it we correlate the previous history, the fractals, I'm expecting a little bit the bounce in US30 for that, whether this is a three-way structure or a five-way structure. Look at this, I'm expecting this one. What it did a deeper correction, the previous intermediate wave 4, and then again it came back to the downside. So the five-way structure has got completed here, what I did here. So now whether it is going to be a three-way structure later onwards, I'm expecting that this one. So whether from here it has to break this low, or it can bounce from here for it making the bigger 1 2 3. So this will become the zigzag. So this is the ABC, and this is the one ABC. After that it could be WX ABC as a Y, or this could be the flat correction, means this is the A, this is the B, and five-way structures we can break the previous high. So after that, whether this is the one the completion of the correction, or this is the one three-way structure later onwards, this is the one I'm expecting for the three-way structures. And one more downside is also possible. I'm not saying the sure, because sometimes what we are expecting to the downtrend, it will break the previous high also, and later onwards it can come like this, and this will become the corrections in the running flat. and then from here itself it can shoot for previous high again. So there is a chance because we are in the bigger fourth. So this is the my analysis in US30 S&P 500. It can do what I already shared my view, one of my view on the last 15 days, I think so, for the moment for the coming weeks and coming year also. So this is the bigger picture. I'm expecting the bigger corrections in that equity market. So let's move on. Once again, we can close this. Yeah, in Bitcoin, BTC. Yeah, it's the same. 1 second. Yeah, 4 hours. So either it is making this one and expecting again this one, whether it is going to break this low for the running flat, or this is the end of this correction. Either if we kept this as a B 1 2 3 4 5, so anyway the three-way structure is got completed here. So whether the three-way structure means I'm expecting the bounce, whether it is going to break this low, and again I am expecting the bounce. So somewhat we are in the bigger corrections here in this also. So in case if this is the connecting wave, so this is the one A, this is the one B, and looking for the downtrend. But expecting this, we are not in the buy side, but I'm not trading this one just for example, and I'm expecting this one for that 12,000 to 10,000 is my target for the year. So either this is a one, it's a W X Y X Z, I'm looking for this. Otherwise sometimes if we kept this as an 1 2 3 4 5 also in that format of 1 2 3 4 5, the W X Y X Z. So anyway I'm looking for that target of 10,000 range, and later onwards I'm looking for the bounce. So we have to wait for this in that corrections, but that trend is in downside in my view. So this is a one three-way structure, this is the one three-way structure, this is the one three-way structure. So WXY is got completed, and we are expecting for that Z wave. And what happened if it didn't break this low? There is a chances for again like this. So if it comes nearby, if you need to take a risk, making this as a stop loss, looking for the bigger target, whether it is going to break this one, this kind of 31, and again there is a three-way structure, and after this, so anyway looking for this correction to break this. If it did break this low, if it breaks this low, then this will become that irregular flat pattern or running triangle. So bigger corrections can happen here if it breaks this low. So let's move on to copper. Same. What we did? 1 2 3 4 5. After this is the 1, this is the 2 3 4 and 5. This is the bigger picture. But in case if this is the one, A B C is a B C is a B, and C. So if this is the flat correction, so we can expect this also. I explained this in the last week. So how we have to trade means, see, this is looking like the impulsive way to the downside. Wait for the three-way structure, making this as a stop loss, looking for the downtrend. Because we already did analysis 1 2 3, so 4, and we are looking for that five-way structures to break the previous low. In case if this is the three-way structure also, we can expect the bounce, making this as a stop loss for the target nearly this zone 3 2. So if this is the one, it's a W, this is the one in the X is a zigzag, right? After that again A, B, C for the bigger picture. So what we have to do is, if in the three-way structure making this as a stop loss, and we are looking for this one 3-2 as a target, but if you find any beautiful risk reward, you can go for this. In case sometimes what will happen, what we unexpected, this can happen, then this will become, and from here it can bounce. So that is why what I explained here, this watchable is the thing we have to do here. There is no confirmations here, whether it is going to make a 5-way structure or it is going to make a 3-way structures for the bigger picture. Somewhat I'm expecting the dollar of Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, it's a little bit bounce at that time. It's look like the 3-way structure can happen. So anyway, I'm looking for that 0.3 cents here. It's above around 3.7, or sometimes it could be a, yeah, double the top also from here. So we have to look for this. If it's making the 5-way structure, fine. If it is not making a 5-way structure and it is bounced and again it came to this and it's getting rejected in this previous low, there is a chances for it's a ABC is a ABC is a B, and C. So this is the one W, and we are in that connecting wave. After that, one more downside is possible. Otherwise, it's a simply, it's looking like the 5-way structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So anyway, I'm looking for the target of 2.8, and I already explained that also. So just go for the previous week video, the same thing, because we are doing only the positional wave trade setup. So just for that remembering, we are, and for the new watcher, I'm just explaining that what could happen in the previous and that next week, right? So you just go for the previous video week analysis for you can skip only if you need any copper or for the gold. You can just go for all the videos at the copper. So let's move on to crude US oil. This is also the beautiful trade. I booked the profit nearly from here also. I'm expecting the 90.8, and it bounced from here, and exactly I exited at 92.5, because this is, I'm not so satisfied with this. This is it's looking like a somewhat ABC. So once it broke the previous high, I'm immediately exited my position, and it is coming to rejection, and then I exited here itself. So anyway, if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 also, we can make it this as a diagonal pattern. So I'm expecting with the, and again the 3-way structure, but it fell very aggressively. So this is the one I took a trade here, and in that last week also, because I didn't done the last week video, so I nearly I bought here. I think so. Somewhat I took a trade in a buy, and later onwards here also I took the buy, because I'm expecting this as an irregular flat. So that is why I bought at 90.8, and it triggered. I didn't buy, so I didn't immediately in the market, but I placed the order at 90.8. So it bounced, and the bounce is not fully satisfied for me, and then again I exited my positions when it getting rejected here. So I'm looking for this as a and later on it's also I took this as a 5-way structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm looking for the 3-way structure, and here this is a little bit confusion for me here. So anyway, I'm looking for this as a wedge formation here. So if this is a A, this is a B, 1, 2. So somewhat here is a 3 and 4 and 5. So this is looking like an, it's a somewhat the one correction is got completed. Somewhat, whether we are going for making this or this is the one correction. So if you need to buy, making this as a stop loss of 85.70 and looking for that bigger target. because not yet it broken the previous low. So this is one, because I'm expecting the UCAD also that 400 to 500 pips to the downside, expecting. If you need to take a risk, you can make this as 85.7 or 85.5 according to your spreads, making this as a stop loss for looking for the bigger picture. Sometimes what I explained, right, sometimes this is the 5-way structures, it will break all the, it will trigger all the stop losses, and then again can bounce for that irregular flat pattern. But we need to place a stop loss. We don't know whether this is going to be a flat correction, or it is the end of the correction and it is going to the downside. It's impossible to explain here, because the same thing happened in that Euro USD also. Here I'm expecting 1 2 3 4 5. I'm expecting this one, but what happened, it's a very small one. So like that in US oil also, somewhat we are expecting the bigger picture here. What we do, took it this as a W, X, A, B and C, and the bounce was happened perfectly. So we don't know whether this is the end of that. It could be a Y, this could be a X, and A, B, C also. But anyway, I'm looking for that bigger correction. That's the thing I'm expecting. So expecting this, I'm not in the buy side. If you need to take a risk, you can make this as a stop loss and looking for that target. But if it hit the target, don't again trade in the buy side. Just look for the pattern to get ready in the sell side. I'm looking only for that sell, not for the buy, because you can, I'm expecting for the target nearly 1.34 1.38 like that. So you have to be in a sell side in the oil and the buy side in the dollar patch. So let's move on to the silver. What I expected, right? Here is a 1 2 3 4 and 5. So whether this is the wave 1, and here what I have explained several times last week also, it's not looking like a 3-way, it's looking like a 3-way structure, and it's not a 5-way structure. Again there is an 1 after this, 1 2 3 4 and 5 like this. So anyway, if this is the 1, and I already explained that this is in that 23.6. So whether this is going to be in 1 2 so 3 continuously, or this is a A B C, that is what I have mentioned here, whether the B is completed here, right? So because this, I kept this as A. So if this is the one A B C B, and we are looking for the bigger picture, but if you correlate to that gold, and I'm looking for that $11 here in that silver, and later onwards in the gold as for the 1400, and UJS to nearly to that 150 range. So if we correlate to that, it is still, there is a room, right? So if 1 2 3 4 5, no need to break the previous low, again it already did. So and here also it's looking like the 3-way structure, it's not a 5-way structure, it's a completely, it's a 3-way structure. Even though if it breaks the previous low, so again I'm expecting any 5-way, or it could be a 3-way structure, because if we kept this as an A, B, C, and 1 2 3 4 5, it's a A, B, C, again A, B, C, again we are looking for that C or A, B, C. If we kept this as a W, X, Y, or this is a B, C, so anyway I'm looking for that previous high. In this zone I'm expecting. The same thing in gold. It is not yet broken the previous low here, but here it's looking like a somewhat the 3-way structure. Here it could be a 3-way structure, or it could be making as a 5-way structure also. So again 1 2 3 4 5, after it breaks the previous low, so previous high, or again it can go for that 161.8, and then the November and December, that this is the one, the period, the bounce happening. So I'm expecting here also the same. Look at this here, right? The March it came down. Here in the November it came down. So let's wait for this. no idea, but I'm expecting the bounce in the all the dollar pairs. Sorry, in all the dollar pairs, I'm expecting the rejection, and in the commodities, I'm going to be a little bit bounce for this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I analyzed all the pairs, just checking and a little bit hurry, and I'm a little bit busy because of my other business. I'm going to be in opening in the another 20 days, so I will inform that. So until that, and I can't make a video regularly, and I can't update that previous chart also, so apologies for that. And if I found a time like this, I will continue my video, and just I will upload in any time. So thanks for watching this. Have a nice weekend to everybody, and nice uh, start a new month also with a good profit. Thanks a lot. Have a nice wonderful weekend to everybody.